This is video diary number 3, and I suppose I just wanted to go into what I'm doing a bit. The last time I was kind of talking, I was a bit at a crossroads because I was kind of doing everything, and I was doing a lot of projection. I was working on the iPad, I was working on digital camera, I was then working on photographs. And so it was kind of all really doing thumbnails in paint. I was actually doing maybe a bit too much, but I've tried to. We had a great kind of meeting over in Barbara's, and thanks a million, Barbara, for that. It was lovely. And it was something that I'd kind of thought about earlier anyway, that maybe I needed to edit down a bit and focus more. And I kind of was, I suppose, finding it hard to leave go of the gravestones, not because they were the gravestones, but I liked the images and I want to do more with that. I have kind of done a little bit of work of digitally editing some of the work, which I didn't really think I would do, but I think I was overlaying the images with Picasa and then on the digital camera straight on that as well. So I found that kind of interesting. I'll put some of those up as well. But since then I decided maybe I needed to look at them, select the work, and I kept going back to the kind of thumbnails and the storyboarding that I'd done because it made sense to me. It became a story, not just looking at the nighttime, but the nighttime, it started making sense to me why I was interested in it, not specifically at nighttime, but the area. So I've edited out some photographs, enlarged some of them, and I'm actually going to physically work on those with pro markers as well, re-photograph them and then project them back into the landscape again. I've done some of these I suppose ideas, and I like the results for what they are, which is kind of experimentation, I suppose. The area with the digital camera, I'm getting the hang of it, but I also just love the graininess of the iPad. Now I know the problem is that you kind of find it hard to focus at night time. Sorry, it's hard to focus at night time. It's hard to get away from the blurry image and more a grainy focused image, if that makes sense. I have used digital camera at night as well, and what I am going to do is take them not using a lot of the modes, night mode, but using the flashlights and torches, and focusing on maybe focusing some of those images a bit sharper. I'll put up some of them. So it's basically looking at the storyline, looking at the clothesline that I actually did, a bag, different kind of scenarios that I've come up with that I suppose denote that idea of change, of I suppose constant movement of time, of place, and unsettled feeling, but also that kind of area of like maybe richness of life as well, which I want to get across in the work. And the atmosphere that is in the area that I said earlier on is still very prevalent for me. I'm trying to think, do I have anything else to say? I have done work, I've gone out. My area difficulty is actually getting people in an irony to be around to help me at least go out as company, because it's you wouldn't be walking the woods on your own, and so that has proved a little bit difficult. But I did go out. I got a Pico projector, and I have gone out several times with that as well, using the images, manipulating the images, and putting my own slant on the images, I think is what I want to do. I really enjoyed manipulating those images physically, and it's something I needed to do to get that tactileness back and the contact back for myself. So I did like that. Now, they all mightn't be manipulated or painted images, but I certainly found that interesting. I've been also using things that are like almost like props, and my niece will be hopefully coming on board soon enough, again, to create that storyline that I'm looking for. Yeah, so I think that's about it. That's where I'm at, and I'm going to put up the photographs, maybe talk about them a little bit and what I did. The milk and honey is still coming into it. I still have to do that, and yeah, that's about it. So I'll put up the photographs anyway rather than talking for ages. Okay, thanks, and I'll talk over them. So yeah, this is actually some of the photographs. I use these with the iPad at nighttime and flashlights in the garden. Now, I suppose the focus of them isn't, of huge importance. I at the moment, because I want them grainy or blown up or edited onto, and then projected maybe. So yeah, just interested in a sprayed milk all over the leaves here. It's of a honeysuckle leaf and sprayed milk, and I was kind of interested in that. I'll be doing the same with honey, and I suppose just looking for images and symbols and props that I suppose denote what I'm looking for, which would change, and this is me out projecting onto old houses then as well. That's an actual old bag, and the projected images of the snail into that. Now I know those ones aren't great; they're not focused hugely, but I didn't edit out the unfocused one. That's probably more focused. This one here. So it's just to give you an idea, really, rather than having perfect pictures of what it is I'm doing. I might blow some of them up as well to a large extent. So these are some of the projections onto posts where I've previously taken photographs. Then I would actually project it back onto old houses. So that's in through the window of an old house. And I just like the effect and the kind of painterly quality of that. That's of the clothesline that a man lived in his car, and that's kind of represents in just down the road from me, and that's on a car. So it's kind of really just experimenting with that, and the original image that I edited, kind of worked up, and seeing what can be done with it. Nearly to, I suppose, abstraction as well in some ways. And yeah, just messing around with that really, And some of the results are good, some need a bit of work. And yeah, it's been interesting, And this is of the dandelion photograph, then projected onto a wall. But the old battered quality of the wall gives it almost a painterly feel. And these are the overlays that I was talking about between the headstones and daisies that I've kind of worked up digitally, just kind of messing around with that as well. And I'm kind of liking the results of those too. They seem to be going off in a slightly different direction, but I suppose it's just about me learning about different aspects of the digital camera, of the iPad,